She's a doll. She's a Barbie. She's a brat. Welcome back to Christmaholics Anonymous. I am your favorite mother of three, Bougie Vintage, and today's video is a B with the T. As you see, I have not moved my equipment from the time Salem did my makeup. So I'm here today to talk to you about a few things that went on the last few days. Well, the girls are fighting, but what is new? So Young Thug's ex-girlfriend, Jerica, and his most recent fling are fighting. That might be a little harsh of a word, but pretty much the young artist known as Mariah the Scientist, who looks like Brittany Renner, she tweeted and she had said, "Imagine fronting on someone who showed you love from the start for someone more popular or more aesthetically pleasing." And then somebody retweeted her and said, "Young Thug left Carly to be with you." So you're basically subbing yourself. And then that was a random person. And then Mariah the Scientist replied with, "What do y'all be talking about? When I met Thug, I was less popular than his ex. She always been attractive / aesthetically pleasing. Why are you trying to equate moving on to fronting on somebody? Sick in the head." So you would think that, oh wow, we don't see this often. A girl defending an ex? What is this? And then Jerica entered the chat, okay? And she bust open a can of worms, girl. She said her whole sale pitch to him has been about her having more emotion, her own money, and being the better option. Girl, you went on a whole rant about how you iced him out for Christmas and it sucks for me because I'm dependent. Please stop acting like this shoe don't fit and leave me out of this, thanks. Well, if I was Jerica, I probably would have just kept my mouth shut, okay? I wouldn't have even entertained Miss Mariah the Scientist. I would not have. I would have just let her say what she wanted to say and pretend, because we both know the truth type of thing. But I understand why Carly or Jerica would want to pretty much call out Mariah, because if she indeed did pitch a sale or do a sales pitch to Young Thug to get him to date her or leave Jerica for her, you know, that's probably hurtful for Jerica. But we do have to look at the history of the relationship, and we know that Young Thug and Jerica's relationship was not the greatest. So Mariah coming in and stealing her man from up under her was not really surprising. Young Thug was not, you know, King Faithful. Okay, like the rappers are not King Faithful. Let me tell you something right now, girl. If you want to date a rapper, there's a certain lifestyle, and they are just simply not faithful people. It just doesn't go. There's way too much temptation, and unfortunately, they're not able to be monogamous. So I don't really understand why they try to have these relationships with these women, because they can't. So, you know, if they were a little bit more disciplined and had a little bit more respect, then probably, maybe, possibly, they would be able to have healthy, happy, monogamous relationships. But most of them are on the road all the time. Most of them are with friends that bring forth women, groupies, whoever. Their DMs are full of attractive people. Like, it's just not realistic to anticipate you're gonna have a faithful rapper boyfriend. I'm sorry. For me, personally, probably wouldn't date a rapper and expect anything serious from it, you know? And so I understand Jerica's position, and perhaps not just Jerica should have kept her mouth shut, but Mariah the Scientist should have kept her mouth shut. But one thing we do know is that the tables, they will turn. So if you were once the one trying to, you know, swoop somebody up from under somebody else, well, your turn will come and you're gonna be the one crying in the Rolls Royce, and that's just what it is. So I guess it's her time. Karma is real, okay? And she always is gonna circle the block. So be mindful. Now, on the topic of swooping in and taking people out, girl, I never touched on the Kyrie Irving situation on my channel because I couldn't, right? I didn't have the energy for it. There was enough with the whole Kanye stuff, and like, I wasn't trying to talk about that. And I also didn't really like look into it. So I never brought it up on my channel. However, I did obviously see what was happening with Kyrie and how it was almost as though Kyrie made the film that was on Amazon Prime. Well, people had been speaking up and defending Kyrie like this is unfair, yada, 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 which for the most part was true, because it seemed like he was getting more backlash than the people that actually put the film on to Amazon. And also Amazon wasn't getting any backlash or enough backlash, and everybody was acting like it was Kyrie's fault, you know? And all he really did was post a link. Now, we saw Kanye obviously get canceled and then Kyrie right behind him. But recently, we saw LeBron finally speak up and say, excuse me, which LeBron gives me flip-flopper, you know, but that's neither here nor there. We see him speak up, and probably because of all the backlash he got about speaking on the Kyrie situation, he was in his press conference after the game, and they weren't asking him any questions about the Jerry Lewis. Is it Jerry Lewis? Sorry, Jerry Jones girl. Not Jerry Lewis girl. Sorry, Jerry Lewis. About the Jerry Jones situation. The segregation pictures. And LeBron James was like, I have to ask y'all a question because not one of y'all has asked me about the Jerry Jones situation, but you all were up in here asking me about Kyrie's situation. Why is that? You know? And so from there, we see that the Amazon CEO has no plans to remove the anti-Semitic film that Kyrie Irving reposted to his Instagram account. So the Amazon CEO, his name is Andy Jassy, he says, as a retailer of content to hundreds of millions of customers with a lot of different viewpoints, we have to allow access to those viewpoints, even if they are objectionable and they differ from our particular viewpoints. So Kyrie gets suspended, damn near loses his job, his livelihood, can't play, can't make no money. People are trying to cancel him. He's losing shoe deals or whatever. But the CEO of Amazon is saying it's okay for this movie to be on the platform. I'm confused. Like, are you guys confused? Because I'm confused. Like, I don't understand why one is okay and not the other. If it's so bad that this man posted the link to it, why is the film itself not removed from the platform? I don't think anybody's going to be able to come and make it make sense to me. So we're just going to move right along to the next topic because I really can't. I just can't. It's really unfortunate how Black people are treated in the world in general, how Black people are treated even with status and money. Even if you have status and money as a Black person, baby, you have no rights. No rights. You cannot do anything. You better yes, sir, yes, massa, and yes, miss. Okay, like that's what it has to be. Apparently, don't say nothing wrong. Don't do nothing wrong, cause you're on thin ice already as a Black person. You are on thin ice. Okay, just shut up. Okay, just sit there and eat your food, cause you have no rights. It is 2022 and you still have no rights. Now, is it just me, or when people get arrested for the slaying of a rapper, like it always feels like it's not the right person that got arrested? Is it just me? Am I too in my own head? Like, how come it feels that way? Because apparently they arrested the people that allegedly killed Takeoff, but like from all the footage that had gone around before, I feel like it's not those two people that everybody was saying it was, or was it? Every time a rapper dies or gets shot or murdered and they arrest somebody for it, except for 1 or 2 times, it just never seems like they got the right people. Like where Nipsey Hussle is concerned, like I'm still a little confused by that one. And it doesn't help that there was already so much conspiracy around his death, because obviously in the last video that him and Quavo filmed together and put out, there was people taking the symbolism out of there, Takeoff standing by the RIP poster, all those things. And it's like, how do you not feed into the conspiracy side of it? Like, it's so hard not to. He was sacrificed. And then what also doesn't help that is the fact that Kanye said out of his mouth that his mom was sacrificed. And I never got to talk about it on my channel. I was going to talk about it in its own video. But like, Kanye is one of those celebrities that are not afraid to speak up about what's happening. And yes, he is a little off his rocker, but to hear him say that his mom was sacrificed was chilling. It was chilling. There's only a few celebrities that, you know, get to talking about the stuff that we deem as conspiracy theories and also Illuminati and that kind of stuff. And some artists send cryptic messages. Some artists know that they're going to be murdered or whatever. And then there's the 27 Club. There's all these things. Oh my God. The dark side of the web, girl. It's really scary when you think about it. Like, wow, was he sacrificed? Like, that's crazy for career advancement. Because the fact of the matter is, usually where the sacrifices are concerned, you don't get to choose who's going to get sacrificed. It's just a thing. Okay, you have to lose something to gain something, or lose someone to gain more. But I don't really understand how Quavo's career could take off. Oh! Didn't do that on purpose. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I don't understand how Quavo's career could skyrocket advance by Takeoff dying. Like, he was Beyonce of the group. So I'm not really sure. And maybe that's why he had to be the one to be sacrificed. But like, I don't really see Quavo's career going further. I feel like Migos as a trio was the best option for them, even though their last project, Neff and Unk and Few, apparently is a pretty decent project. I just don't see how Takeoff dying would do anything for Quavo's career. Like, that's what doesn't make sense to me about the whole conspiracy of Takeoff dying. Let me know if you guys feel the same way. In other freaking news, the CEO of Balenciaga apologizes again. We do not care. We have moved on as a people and we do not care, sir. Okay? Go over there with that. You knew, sir. You had no right. There was no rhyme or reason for the sick and twisted campaign that you put out. We don't care about your apology. Like, for what? There is no excuse behind this. All of y'all gotta go to the hottest parts of you-know-where. Just go. Just go and have your little weirdo parties down there. Because I will never be able to make sense of that campaign. And I bet you if we look back at history, there's probably a few other campaigns that should have been canceled or should have been put in the light. But with the way social media works these days and the way the internet works, it was quick to be called out and quick to be taken down and quick to create a big thing out of it. And it should. I don't know if Balenciaga is going to bounce back from this. I'm hoping they don't, because that's just not something that should have ever been done. So they can take all the accountability they want in the world. The fact that it ever even made it to print, to the website, the fact that it got pitched, like the fact that it got pitched and y'all were like, yeah, that's a good idea. Like, it's very telling. If y'all were trying to do shock value and didn't think that you guys were going to get canceled because people love Balenciaga and celebrities love Balenciaga, and still a lot of celebrities have not spoken up about the situation, and maybe they feel that they don't need to because the situation is doing what it needs to do. But if some of you in the last Be With The Tea that I did where I talked about that, you did state that you already have some Balenciaga pieces and you will still wear them, but you will not purchase any more because they already got your money, which makes sense. And there's no judgment there. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But like, to me, there's just no coming back from this. And maybe they will, but not for me. And on the topic, baby, of not coming back. Y'all see them Good Morning America stars? The Good Morning America broadcasters that are having an affair in the broad dizzy. Like, where did they do that at? And they still showed up to work. What a scandal. They were still on air the following morning. Like, they weren't just smacking butts in public and they're both whole ass married. Girl, no class, no decorum, nothing. And then when the girls got on Twitter and posted TJ Holmes' caption, his 10-year challenge to his wife from Facebook, I was on the floor. That caption screamed problematic, and he was hiding in plain sight. Like, the caption was out of control. I can't even imagine somebody writing a caption like that, professing their love for me, but really they're telling the world that they've been purposefully being impossible, which I've experienced, but it wasn't in a caption. But like, they're purposefully being, or they were purposefully problematic in the marriage, trying to get their spouse to leave, but instead of leaving, and now are having an affair with a coworker. Oh my God, that is crazy. Like, the caption had me on the floor. I was literally gagged. I'm like, there's no way this man wrote that caption, posted it on Facebook, and people liked it. What in the hell? That is insane. I was like, no, ma'am, absolutely not. Do better, okay? Now, apparently they There have been a bunch of emergency meetings on whether or not the two should lose their job. And pretty much if the ratings stay up, they get to keep their jobs. If the ratings plummet because people are outraged, they fired. Okay? Imagine losing your job because you had an affair. Oh my God, this sounds familiar. I cannot. Like, these people will literally risk it all for some coochie, for some Disney. You're gonna risk it all, risk your bag for the Disney? Oh no, baby. Absolutely not. Then again, I kind of did that too. Oh my God. Now, before I go, there are two more things that I want to talk about, because I think last week, Ebony Ivory, which is one of, what's his name? What's that problematic man's name? Summer Walker's baby daddy. London on the track. Apparently, his child with Ebony Ivory was somewhere with Shensea's son, and something happened that was inappropriate. Shensea's son is older than their child, but that's neither here nor there. It was a big problem. Ebony brought it to the internet. She exposed the child, and she exposed obviously Shensea as the mother, and however it was or wasn't handled. Shensea's baby father, who is fine, okay? Shensea's baby father then got on the internet, and he was really classy about it actually. But he pretty much was saying, like, because kids are involved, he doesn't feel like it should be on the internet, but you know, it's like whatever happened is being dealt with off of the internet. And so because there are children involved and it's a sensitive thing, like, he doesn't feel like it should have been brought to the internet, but it is what it is because it's already brought to the internet, yada yada yada. He didn't say much, but to me he was a good neutral party. Now Ebony Ivory posted it, exposed it, and then went further by posting the cease and desist. I did not know Shensea's name was actually Shensea, but it's spelled differently. And so apparently she was given a cease and desist from Shensea's lawyers, pretty much stating that she needs to stop posting and stop doing XYZ regarding the situation, or they'll be taking legal action. Now, if she has the facts, she has the facts. So she also posted a video of her daughter telling her what happened with Shensea's son, which to me is a little crazy. Like, she's overexposing her child in a sense. I don't think she cares at this point, but I feel like that might be a little humiliating for the child when the child is older. I think it could have definitely been handled offline, but I think a part of the problem was that she might have been trying to handle it offline and they weren't doing anything about it, or saying like they're just kids kind of thing, which is not the case. You can't think that way when stuff like that happens, because like most of the time that's learned behavior. Okay, why did it happen? Therapy, intervention, all those things, so that it doesn't keep happening. But also sometimes there's situations where it's too late and then the person just gets worse and worse over the years, which is why early intervention is important. But it's really unfortunate that happened with the kids, and it's really unfortunate that it's on the internet. But as a mom, she has every right to be very upset about that. So we can't really tell people how to process things or how to deal with them, or, you know, how to grieve them. But if she felt like Shensea wasn't handling it properly, then that's perhaps why she got on the internet. But she did post, and she said, if she focused on selling records and raising her kid right instead of trying to make me be quiet about some truth, then someone could name one of her songs. Ebony tends to be problematic anyway. Like, even when her and Summer Walker were going back and forth, like, Ebony tends to have a problem with anybody that gets with London, but I don't know if that fits into this category. So I think it's embarrassing for all parties. I think it's hurtful for everybody involved, and realistically I hope that they figure it out off of the internet. But she shouldn't post her child telling her what happened with the other child. She shouldn't have posted that. I don't care what anybody says.
He made you do what?
Smelled it.
Okay.
I just said.
Okay, I hadn't watched the video before of her, what she posted about her child. I didn't watch the video or listen to the audio. I started listening to it, but then I just turned it off. So the little girl is pretty much saying that, actually, I don't know if they have a son or a daughter, girl. I think it's a girl. She said that, no, I think it's a girl. Yeah, I think their child is a girl. So Ebony and London on the Track's child alleged that Shensea's child, oh my God, made her smell his parts, which is crazy. Why I just said, oh my God, is like, now it kind of makes sense why Shensea and London on the Track ended up breaking up. Probably because of this situation, because this is definitely grounds for a breakup, whatever the frig was going on. Wow. This is sad. Let me move right along. And so the last thing that I wanted to talk about that broke the internet, girl, again, we are tired, sir. Kanye West tweeted and said that he caught Kim Kardashian with Chris Paul. Sir, what? Keep in mind, Chris Paul is married with children or child, and of course, Kanye and Kim were married, so he's alleging that she cheated on him with Chris Paul during their union. Well, I ended up down a rabbit hole of sorts, and I started to see that the petty king himself, Drake Aubrey Graham, he posted about a year ago in a Chris Paul jersey, and he had two friends with him who were also wearing Chris Paul jerseys. And if you understand or know the long-standing feud between Drake and Kanye, and Drake obviously being in the mix all the damn time, you might read into this and be like, did Drake just confirm this for us? Why was he being shady? And the caption, baby, the caption on that photo. Oh, he was with Matt Barnes. No, not Matt Barnes, sorry. He's with Matt Babel. And I don't know who that is with the hair. But it was Drake, Matt Babel, and some other man. And they were all wearing the Chris Paul jersey. And we know Drake is shady boots, girl. So could he be confirming the tea? I don't know. But very petty of him. What I think about if that is true, I'm not surprised. Hollywood gets down the way they get down. Like, I'm not surprised when celebrities are sleeping with other celebrities that are currently married. I'm not surprised when we find out that, you know, August Alsina and Jada Pinkett are together and that Will Smith has his own girlfriend. And, like, I'm not surprised when we find out these things. It's a given. I feel like in Hollywood, everything goes, okay? There are no rules. Everything goes clearly. Just so many weird things that happen in Hollywood, so nothing surprises me when it comes to this. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I felt like it was random. Like, of all the basketball players, Chris Paul, why? What's going on there? Like, you know, not that anything's wrong with Chris Paul, but it just seemed random for Kim. Like, I just feel like that's not her, you know, but I guess doesn't really matter. As long as they black and rich, it don't matter. Okay, that's what they go for. Black and rich. Okay, you could be ugly, cute, it don't matter. Black and rich, have a little bit of status to you, and you can bag a Kardashian. That's pretty much it. Like, so I'm not surprised by that tea. But what I will say is that the other side of that is that Kanye was getting a lot more backlash because he said some crazy stuff about Hitler. And, like, Kanye is lost in the sauce. I don't get why they keep taking his platform away and then giving it back, and then taking it away and then giving it back. I don't understand why they keep doing that. Just take it away and just leave it kept away. So his Twitter got suspended again. People are calling him out again. And, like, is everybody not tired? I feel like the more we use his name, the more we say his name, the more we acknowledge the tomfoolery that comes out of his mouth, the more fuel he gets. So perhaps we just say nothing. When Kanye does something next time, we just not react. Like, if he's gonna say that Hitler's the pastor of his church, girl, then let him say it. Like, I don't know what else to say where Kanye's concerned anymore. I don't know what else to say about him. Like, I'm over it. I'm over it. So that's pretty much that on that. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all the tea that I just spilled or respilled, girl, because it wasn't my tea. And yeah, I love you all so much, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.